What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Extraordinary Critic, and today we got a very special video. Today we gonna be talking about Bad Boys starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Now this franchise here has been around for a pretty long time. It's everybody's favorite. Everybody love Bad Boys. This is a big franchise, and starred no other than Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. These two, the biggest names in sitcom at the time in the 90s, and coming together to make this movie was a very special thing to do in buddy cop cinematic history. And to this video, I'm going to be doing something that I thought about doing for a long time, and that is ranking these movies. Now, there's 4 movies out of Bad Boys. You got Bad Boys 1, 2, Bad Boys for Life, and Bad Boys Ride or Die. And today I'm going to be ranking them from worst to best. And these are my personal opinions. This is not nobody else. I ain't going to be ranking them based on what I think and give my logical points on why I think they are the way they are, okay? Now, to everybody's point, to be fair to everybody, all these movies are good, okay? Bad Boys don't have no one bad movie in my personal opinion. But to each his own, so let's get into it. I like this movie, but at first I kind of didn't. I think the first half is weak. I didn't like the over directing that they did. A certain character have a near-death experience, and when that happens, the character start acting weird. I'm not trying to get into spoilers or anything. Well, I am. So spoilers is that Marcus had a heart attack at Mike's wedding, and ever since then he's been a weird character. But for overall, I think Martin Lawrence is really funny. He's better than he was in Bad Boys for Life. He was the Martin Lawrence that we all know. He's with it. The jokes are, his punchlines are just on point. His comedic timing, and it's just Martin Lawrence. It's Martin Lawrence. He's great. Will Smith, on the other hand, he just got as an actor, man. Like, this is not too long after, the Chris Rock slap and stuff like that, and Oscar slap. But he bounced back with this movie here. And this movie, man, heavily action-packed. The flaws I have this movie is that the story is pretty bland. I don't like the villains. Well, all the movie's villains, the storylines of these movies are not really deep. But I feel like with this movie is just, framing. They got to prove themselves to be innocent and stuff like that, and find the real bad guys. It's that type of trope. And then this the whole trope of the person that they love or care about get kidnapped. They gotta go save them now. So it's that trope too. So, I just didn't really like that either. But the second half of the movie is way better than the first half. I feel like if the first half was as good as the second half, it would be like the best Bad Boys movie. But since the first half is pretty weak, and then the second half of the movie just dominates, I think is the least favorite in my opinion out of all of them. But I do think it's still a good movie. I think it's well paced. I think the comedic timing between Martin Lawrence and Will Smith are still there. And it's crazy how all these years they still have really good chemistry. Like, they'd be best friends their whole lives. But that's the type of thing you get when you have 2 talented actors or comedic actors on screen. But anyway, I think it's over directed. And yeah, that's pretty much my opinion. So on to the next. Bad Boys, the original Bad Boys, number 3. Now, the original Bad Boys, I enjoy this movie a lot. Now, a lot of people think that the original Bad Boys is the best Bad Boys. You got some people who think Bad Boys 2 is the best. I really like this movie a lot. I think this is the starter of the franchise. It is the start of the franchise, directed by Michael Bay, and the first one came out in '95. And man, this is prime Martin Lawrence. This is prime Martin Lawrence. He was carrying this movie. As great as Will Smith was, as great as chemistry was, Martin Lawrence just steals the show. Every time he's on screen, he just steals it. He commands the screen with his comedic timing, and their ad-libbing on this movie was really good, honestly. Like, it's just felt natural between those two, as long time police partners and stuff. And I will say some of the action here is pretty intense. Nothing too crazy based on the budget, but it was some intense moments, like the one of Martin Lawrence in the bathroom. That was a tense action scene, and the ending, and they had a lot of epic moments, a lot of slow motion action scenes, but hey, I really enjoy this movie a lot. Now, the premise or the story, no, it's not the best, but it's an action movie. Who cares about that? But when you come here for Martin Lawrence and Will Smith bickering at each other as they're in the middle of a crazy action scenes. But I just like it a lot. I think this is the good starter of this franchise, and I think that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, they came in and they were very young and they're very energetic, and this movie hits a lot of good points of being a good action buddy cop movie. So anyway, on to the next. Bad Boys for Life, number 2. Okay, everybody. Okay, calm down. Okay, I know that some people may not like the third one as much. They probably think that it's boring, and that it's not what the Bad Boys is. But me personally, I like this movie a lot because this movie is more than just a Bad Boys movie. It has a deeper message about timing and stuff, and also, like, I really do like Mike Lowry character in this movie. Now, in the other movies, 1 and 2 especially, Mike Lowry is nothing but a ladies' man, bloodthirsty action fanatic, and he's bulletproof. And this movie, in Bad Boys for Life, he's more vulnerable and more desperate to get back to where he was, and that's a great characterization for that character, because he's older now. He's not the same Mike Lowry as he used to be, and something happens to him that damages his ego, and he's trying to get that back as much as possible, even dang near risking his life. But by the time he realizes what he's doing, some people might be in harm's way. I do like the plot twist of this movie. I think the plot twist is really, really good, and the villains in this movie are surprisingly decent. The other movies in Bad Boys, the villains are pretty cartoonish. They're pretty bad. They got killed the henchmen, and they got yell and scream and threaten to get their money and stuff. And they got kidnapped the girl in order to get what they want. But here in this movie, this is very personal. The villains are connected to the protagonist. And what happened in this plot twist, it's really, really like gut-wrenching, and it's really like it's something where, like, the protagonists have to really figure out what to really do in the situation, because, like, they're stuck in the middle. They don't know what really to do because the situation is getting worse and worse. And I really do like that. And Martin Lawrence in this movie, he's good, but you could tell that something happened to him, and he did confirm that he had a stroke or something. But he's still funny in this, though, and they still have great chemistry. And coming into this movie after, like, a long time waiting after Bad Boys 2, I feel like this is a great movie, and the great third movie after all those years of waiting. I know people are not too crazy about the story and stuff, but I do. I think the story is good. I think that the villains are really solid when it comes to how personal they get, and how ruthless they are. I was actually like really on the edge of my seat. And plus, the third act, no girl gets kidnapped. The whole point of the third act is just like the bad guys are really coming after them with everything they got. Like, they really want them dead. Like, it's nothing. All they want is for them to die. And Mike Lowry and them has to, like, do what they have to do in order for people not to get harmed, because I feel like the villains in this movie are way more ruthless than any other villains in the franchise. I feel like this movie, they'll kill anybody just to get to Mike and Marcus. And I really like that about these villains. They're just ruthless, they're just psychopathic, like just bad people. And I really love that about these villains. But anyway, this is my second favorite, and I'm going to my first. Bad Boys 2 #1. Okay, now this movie is what Bad Boys is all about. Like I said, I know a lot of people prefer the first one over the second one, and people do think that the first one is the best one. But for me, Bad Boys 2 is the best Bad Boys of all the whole franchise. And the reason why is because it's everything you wanted in a Bad Boys movie. You got intense, crazy action scenes. You got Marcus and Mike bickering at each other more than ever now, like a married couple. You got Michael Bay crazy, you know, explosions and stuff like that. So this movie came out in 2003, and you know, at the time, you know, it was something that was just out of this world. The car chase scenes, you know, the shootouts and all this stuff. It really made Bad Boys what Bad Boys is. It's just action packed. And Mike, this is prime Mike Larry. This is prime Will Smith, with the white beater and the cars and the ladies and stuff, getting the girls. Like, this is prime Mike Lowry. And man, I really love this movie to death, man. And this is my aunt's favorite movie of all time. It just shows you that this movie is really not dated in any way. And the comedy is top notch. Like, the whole Reggie scene in the movie, man, that will always be a classic in my opinion. I just really love Bad Boys 2. I think that, you know, what make Bad Boys 2 separate from the other ones, like I said, the very intense action scenes. And then the story takes place in a whole week. And the shootout they begin into, like, it's highly intense. Especially the scenes where they're throwing cars off the truck and they have to dodge the cars and stuff, and the action scene in the Haitian house, or they're pretty much like they going 360 and going around and shooting at each other. Like, those scenes, man, will always be like top-notch action scenes of all time, hands down. There's never be another Bad Boys movie like this. I hope they don't come out with a fifth one, but if they do, oh well, I'll go and watch it because I'm a Bad Boys fan. But Bad Boys 2 is the best Bad Boys of all time, man, hands down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This was a great this is a great ranking in my opinion. I like this ranking a lot. If you think any different, go in the comment section, let me know, and yeah, we'll just talk about it. But anyway, guys, please stay in tune, stay safe, enjoy your family, enjoy life, and I'll see you later. Peace.